It's the Slam Dunk.
Yeah, so tomorrow looks unprecedented on the political calendar as the government moves to unreservedly apologise to those state wards who were abused, raped, tortured, beaten, sexually assaulted, denied food and treated like animals. CEOs from all the big government departments will line up to say sorry. Then the big one, Christopher Luxon, the Prime Minister, will say sorry too for their treatment. This historical abuse while young and in state care was nothing short of thuggery. It was brutal, violent, hedonistic, sadistic and downright criminal. These young, vulnerable men who'd done, naughty things, stolen cars, or maybe they had too many in the family. They were vulnerable men. They were thrown into the darkness of places like Uwadaka Boys Home at age 12 to fend for themselves. The stories of the bashings and the violence and the fear is hard to take still. I've spoken to guys like Taina Pora about this at length, and the stories that he tells are heinous. I had a mate of mine, really good mate of mine still. He was in there for stealing cars as a teenager, and he was saved by his grandfather. We got him into a boarding school. But it was pretty awesome, and it was pretty awful. It was absolutely awful. That these men went on to populate New Zealand jails, and still do, is no surprise. Yes, they must take responsibility for their crimes, but the early treatment of them set many up to fail, and they still pay the price. A third of all prisoners are thought to be former state wards. Now, I know a few of these men, like Api in Northland, an Uwadaka boy, who spent 35 years inside jail. His first job was at 50. He regrets all of it, and he knew no different, though. The stories of hellish abuse and violent brawls make your hair stand up. And Api is 10 years out, 10 years clean, got a steady job, but his life was ruined by the dirty state intervention. They turned him into a hardened criminal who hated and was angry. And I still see Api today in the north, and he's doing really well. Not even angry, smiling away, and his life's changed. It was an amazing story. The most likeable guy, but he wears his scars on the outside. Sure, he needed to be helped, but it was hardly positive. He told me that state care made him violent and angry, and he was determined to revolt once he got out, and he did. All these victims will be paid and receive an apology. The payout's between $3,000 and $40,000. The average is about $15,000. The worst people get, the worst cases get $40,000. But it's nothing compared to what happened. Personally, I think this has taken far too long to settle. The money is crap. It's not life-changing, and it's insulting in itself. And worse, no one has been held accountable for these heinous crimes in the name of the state. These men paid the price. They lost their freedom for decades, some of them, in jail. The perpetrators have either died or remained in hiding, but they've never paid a price. And I think it's poor, and I'll be really upset about this, and it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right at all, does it?
Duncan Garner, live.